What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Hogwarts Legacy. We're about to go speak to Professor Fig and go back to the Undercroft. Not the Undercroft, the map room.
I was hoping to see you.
You're back.
Finally. Minister Spavin talks more than he listens. Ranted on and on about rogue dragons. Wouldn't listen to a word about goblins. Speaking of which...
Listen, Professor. So much happened while you were away. Your friend, Mr. Ollivander, sent me an owl asking for help finding an heirloom wand that was stolen from him.
He did he?
And so I went to the owlery like he said, and there were all these statues.
What do you mean, statues? In the owlery?
Yes, which led me to a secret hideout where I found Richard Jackdaw's ghost.
Who on earth is Richard Jackdaw?
He was a student here long ago. Anyway, he told me about a secret cavern. I went there, and right next to Jackdaw's skeleton, I found the missing pages.
You found the pages?
I did. And because Jackdaw had followed the map they contained, when I found the pages, I found the location on the map. Believe it or not, it's a room below Hogwarts.
Why am I not surprised? Shall we?
I was hoping you'd say that. Oh, and we'll need to bring the book.
Great storytelling. Wonderful.
The room is called the Map Chamber, by the way. And a portrait of Percival Rackham awaits us there.
Professor Rackham. I look forward to meeting him. How did this Jackdaw get the pages from the book?
Evidently, Peeves stole them, and Jackdaw stole them from him.
Oh, Peeves.
Yes, Peeves.
To think it was beneath us all this time. This looks promising. A map. There's Hogsmeade. And over here, the Forbidden Forest. And, of course, Hogwarts. It's magnificent. If only you were here to see this.
And there he is, Professor Rackham. Was that little building over there Hogsmeade? Kind of hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure that's the path you take to get to it. This area right here is the Forbidden Forest, if I'm correct. There's the Quidditch pitch. There's a town over there. A large glowing blue part. Tower.
Hello, Professor Rackham. We've placed the book on the pedestal as you asked. And this is my mentor, Professor Fig.
How do you do, Professor Fig? And you, my young friend, see now why you needed to return with the book?
I do. I also see why you refer to this room as the map chamber.
That you have come this far tells me that you possess extraordinary magical ability, the potential and power of which will unlock should you prove yourself worthy. The location of each of 4 trials will, in time, appear on the map. Trials that will test you and give you access to invaluable knowledge. Trials that you must complete on your own. Do you recall the pensive memory you viewed in my vault in Gringotts?
I do.
You and your friend Charles spoke of the port key, and of trials you'd created for one who could see traces of ancient magic.
Precisely. Charles is another of the Keepers, a designation we gave ourselves centuries ago, in light of the knowledge that we have been bound to keep hidden. Until, perhaps, now.
So, the passage from your ruins to Gringotts, everything in the vault, the restricted section, finding this room, none of these was a trial.
They were an important part of the journey, but they were not trials themselves. The fact that you have come this far, however, bodes well. The trials were designed to ensure that the power and knowledge we have kept secret for so long does not fall into the wrong hands. They will test your abilities, both innate and learned. But of equal importance, everything you witness as you complete the trials will inform what you choose to do with all that we share. You will need patience. The trials have much to teach you. It will take time.
I'm afraid we don't have the luxury of time.
We have waited this long, Professor Fig. Surely a few more.
Respectfully, sir, while I do not know the secret you keep, I do know that our young friend here has seen traces of a powerful dark magic being wielded by goblin kind. And we encountered an uncommonly powerful goblin wielding such magic as we prepared to leave your vault at Gringotts. We may already be too late.
This is grave news, indeed. Young friend, do you trust Professor Fig?
I do.
Then, in the light of your considerable skill and all you have already accomplished, we shall begin. You will find the location of the first trial marked on the map below you. Whilst Professor Fig may assist you in locating the trials, they may be completed only by one with our ability.
Shall we have a look?
Yep.
I know that tower. It's not far. You may have seen it yourself.
I believe I have.
It looks familiar. Perhaps your young friend is more well-traveled than you might think.
As your mentor, the least I can do is go ahead to make sure it is safe. Join me as soon as you can.
What do you know about the tower?
You said that you know that tower. What can you tell me about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. I've passed it dozens of times. It's north of Hogsmeade. My recollection is that it seems abandoned. Clearly, however, the tower conceals more than meets the eye.
Okay, I'll see you there.
I'll find you at the tower as soon as I can.
Until then, be careful, and do not tell anyone where you're going.
I rarely do.
How would you like to learn the knockback jinx flipendo? Once you've completed the necessary tasks, come and find me in the greenhouse.
Okay. Any more notes?
It's time you learned, Glacius, the freezing spell. It is an efficient way to cool down a heated situation. But first, I will need you to complete a few tasks. Once you've done that, come and see me.
2 new assignments. Do the trial later. Get these assignments out of the way. Grow and harvest fluxweed, which means we need a... I know I have the seed for it, but we need a large thingamajig. Acquire all 3 combat plants and use them simultaneously. That means I'm going to need another mandrake. While we go get those, we can pop the balloons, because we have to wait for the seeds to grow. Gonna need another mandrake. Thankfully, we don't have to use them in combat. But we may find an enemy just in case. Gear. 800. Icon there. Let's go there, get the large pot, or at least try to. Hope that we can. May not have enough gold or galleons for it just yet.
Hello there, come on in. Plenty to look at here. Let's look at what we have, shall we?
Nope, just a medium one costs 1,500. Singular large plot. Costs 1,000. Just enough for it, but won't have enough for a mandrake.
Nothing like finding just the right thing, is there? Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.
Will do. Get an extra 150.
Let's look at what we have, shall we? Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.
And we need 600 for a...
Revelio.
whatchamacallit? Mandrake. I don't really give much gold at the beginning of the game. Should be a few... what do you call them? Disillusionment charms in Hogwarts. We can go there.
Accio. Revelio.
500. About 600 altogether at the current moment. Let's round back. Is it round back? There it is. Pair of unidentified gloves.
Revelio.
Should be about 300 gold altogether. I think I can get upstairs. That door's locked. And it's also in the back where we're just at.
Revelio.
There's one. We may have enough to buy the seed for it. Rather than just the mandrake itself.
mandrakes. I haven't fed them yet.
Good for you. Mandrake.
Oh, I'm always thrilled when a young one makes a wise purchase. I can tell you'll go far. Doors always open. You be sure to stop by soon.
Okay. Hogsmeade. Well, not Hogsmeade, Hogwarts. Over the room requirements. Get these planted. Thankfully, you can place multiple pots. What do you mean this object is locked? What about the other? Why didn't it do this one? And we want that look. That look. Go this one. We're gonna need 2. Fluxweed, which is 15 minutes. And Mandrake, which is 10 minutes. Okay. Now that we're waiting for that, go do Madame Kagawa's. I pop balloons near the Quidditch pitch and somewhere else. I think it's near Hogsmeade Station. Maybe? Yeah, Hogsmeade Station. Okay, balloons, where are we starting? Next is way over that way. Bit of a jump. Guessing those are different ones because they're different color. So just these. That. There's 5 here. I'm not seeing a 5th balloon. Is it up? Nope. About down. There it is.
Brilliant.
How did you get on with those tasks?
Okay. Looks like a nice one. Red plate. Dear Madam Kagawa, marvelous news. You'll be joining the faculty at Hogwarts as our new flying instructor. I dare say our work together at Hogwarts will be less eventful than our time near Yokohama Harbor. Though one never knows. Shall look forward to seeing you soon. If you have any questions in the meantime, please do not hesitate to send me now. Warm regards, Matilda Weasley. I'm gonna this one's a lot longer. I'm not gonna read this one. Leave it up for a couple seconds if you want. That's locked.
Madam Kagawa, I completed the list of tasks you assigned.
Wonderful. I trust you became more familiar with your broom through the process?
I did.
Yes, Professor.
That's good to hear. Keep it up, and perhaps one day you'll have a spot on the Quidditch team. If Black ever permits Quidditch again. Well, with those tasks out of the way, let us get started. Glacius. Pay attention to your wand work.
Glacius. Space right, space left, and then F. Down, up, right, down, space, left, F.
Well done. I'd recommend that you practice your new spell here in my office before taking it out into the world.
Honestly speaking, I don't think I've ever actually used this in combat.
Glacius!
There you go. Catching on quickly.
Even though it's probably pretty useful. I keep it instead of Leviosa. I do prefer the transformation one though. It's a lot more useful. Especially later when you can get the Dark Arts version of it. Where it'll transform people into explosives. Much more entertaining. Okay, we should have had enough time for this to go. I did get up and walk away for a moment. Should be more than ready now. Flux Sweep. Got a Mandrake. Pick up our Moonstone. Okay. Now, I don't really know if you need an enemy for this. However, I do know the However, I do know that you do need to go in order. Let's go to these spiders over here.
You're gonna regret coming here.
Potato! Defender!
Enemies of higher level will be harder to defeat. Guessing that larger one was higher level than me. That should be finished. Go turn this into Professor Garlic.
On another adventure, are we?
Remember what she's gonna give us though.
Perhaps a hybrid. Bouncing tentacular.
It would be terrifying.
I've finished the activities you assigned me, Professor Garlic.
Wonderful! I hope you gained a greater appreciation for the flora in our lives. I am forever enraptured by it. Just yesterday, I spent hours pruning my self-fertilizing shrubs and flutterby bushes. Didn't realize how long I'd been at it until the sun began to set. Well, if there's one thing I love to see more than my plants thriving, it's one of my students doing the same. Now, ready to learn Flipendo? Chin up, keep a light grip, and it's all in the wrist. Let's see you give it a go.
Will do.
You will want to focus with this spell. Nothing as mortifying as knocking back a colleague when all you wanted to do was move a few pots.
Moving pots with a flipendo? Let's see. Space F, right? Then double space. Space F, right?
Wonderfully done! If you'd like to practice a bit more, you're welcome to do so here in the greenhouse. Just mind the plants, please.
I got this one as a hat on it. Flipendo?
Flipendo!
Look at that! You're a natural.
It is entertaining.
Professor, I was wondering where you're from. What's your background?
Oh, how nice of you to ask. Well, let's see. I grew up in London, right on the Thames.
Sounds lovely.
That sounds lovely. All the sights and bustle of a city.
To some, yes. I used to dream of living in the country, but it wasn't until I came to Hogwarts that I felt truly at home. Mind you, it did take some time, and whilst it is my fervent hope that each student eventually feels as at home here as I do, it is not always the case.
I suppose that makes sense.
Well, we each bloom differently, don't we? Some of us, like Devil's Snare, thrive in the shadows, whilst others crave the attention of a bouncing bulb. And we each grow and thrive according to our own plan. Oh, I was terribly nervous when I arrived at the castle. You see, as a child, I knew nothing of witches or wizards. You can imagine how astonished I was to receive my letter from Hogwarts. I spent a good deal of time alone in either the greenhouse or the library my first days here.
Does take some getting used to.
It does take a while to adjust to being here.
Precisely, and I was remarkably fortunate. In fact, a 7th year took me under her wing during those first days. She remains one of my dearest friends.
How fortunate.
I was indeed. I dare say you'll find that the friends you make here at Hogwarts will last a lifetime. Now, I'd best get to my recent delivery from the Magic Neep. Mr. Teasdale promised me quite an assortment of seeds this week. Lovely to see you.
Well, okay then. And with that said and done, we're going to go ahead and end it here for the day. Continue on with Percival Rackham's trial next time. So, thank you for watching, and as always, have a great day. We'll see you next time.